Hey, it's Dr. Ron here, and I'd like to talk today about a little bit about my history. I never saw myself as somebody who works primarily with an aging population. As time went on, and I saw some of my contemporaries get older along with me, but some people doing it much better than others. And I felt it was real important to apply some of my principles of positive psychology and goal achieving psychology to emphasizing the importance of growing older with enthusiasm, taking charge of your life, and making it a really great time of life, perhaps even the greatest. And in doing so, one of the things that I've tried to emphasize is the importance of maintaining proper habits in the areas of health and fitness, the area of keeping your mind active and learning, and in the process of staying socially connected. Um, I've already spoken and presented on Facebook Live on the matter of toxic and nourishing habits, and that we don't think in terms of bad and good ones, but what do they do to us as people and to us as our bodies? And it's very important to emphasize that some habits nourish us, others drain us and become toxic. And in that regard, I think with respect to habits, more so than almost anything, it's very important to start growing old when you're young. In other words, I don't mean growing physically older than your age range, but to begin to account for what kind of an older adult you're going to be. Are you going to be one who continues to grow and maximizes potential and so on? And the way we do that is by beginning at an early age to really prevent deterioration by eating healthy, exercising regularly, maintaining a learning program for ourselves, whether that's involved with our careers and, more importantly, with learning novel and creative ideas and thinking outside of our career areas, and by making sure that we're going to be socially connected with a good support group so that we don't have to fear loneliness. So that's an important set of things to begin to do, and that can begin taking place at almost any age. The earlier the better, because then you don't have to unlearn toxic habits. If you are a young adult and don't think in terms of the fact that you're likely to live well into the 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond, then it becomes less important what you put into your body. But if you recognize that the odds are that you will if you take care of yourself, and there's increasing scientific evidence to prove that, then we begin to look at what are we eating? Is it a plant forward diet? One that isn't necessarily totally plant based, if that's not your thing, but plant forward. Are we maintaining relationships with healthy friends and not seeing family as a source of stress and draining as much as we possibly can? Do we continue to learn on a regular basis? Do we avoid the kinds of things that deteriorate our body? Smoking, excessive alcohol, overly generous amounts of sugar. Do we get adequate sleep, and so on? You guys know what good habits are. You guys know what nourishing habits are. And, uh, in most cases, you probably also know what toxic habits are, whether you're following them or not. So this is a plea. Again, I address a lot of things to older adults, but this is, again, for a general age group, because I don't see my focus as being just older adults. Positive psychology works for everyone, goal achieving psychology works for everyone, and nourishing habits work for everyone. So if we establish nourishing habit base at an early age, we don't have to worry about unlearning toxic ones later on. Just like so many other things in life, prevention is a lot easier, a lot healthier, and a lot better for you than crisis management. So, I hope that resonates with many of you, and regardless of your age range. Also, let me put in a plug for those of you who are listening to this on February 21st. When I post it, February 21st, 2022, there is still time to register for my webinar on Aging Without Fear that will take place tomorrow. There should be links all over social media, but certainly feel free to contact me at ron.kaiser@thementalhealthgym.com, and I'll make sure that you get registered, get in for it, and get the appropriate Zoom link to be part of what can be very much of a life-altering webinar. Until next time then, this is Dr. Ron signing off. Y'all have a good day, a good week, and we'll talk to you in a few days.